and welcome to Doodle Club on the Alternative Art School with me, Cate Field, artist, teacher and speaker. In today's Doodle Club, we're going to be creating quirky little monsters using watercolour and pencil and pen because they're just fun. And I really hope you are well, and I really hope you are going to enjoy this week's art tutorial. Let's go. So sometimes we just have to play, and that's what's going to happen in today's Doodle Club. I'm going to be using my Analinky paints. I've got a soft brush and a flat brush, water spray and a pot of water. Let's just start by activating the paints. I might add some sparkles to it as well, but we're just going to have some fun with this one. It's one of the things that I do with my younger students, and then the other day I did it with some older students and they really enjoyed it as well. So I thought, do you know what, you might enjoy it as well. So I'm going to start off by putting in some blobs, and we're going to turn these into quirky little monsters, and then we can write little stories about them. Which is one of the things that I love, when we can either take some poetry or prose and turn that into art, or create some art and then create some poetry and prose. Because I think that when we start to combine the arts, we have a richer life. I think, and it's more fun. I'm just going to just keep to these blues and purples for this one, and then I'll do another one in reds and oranges, and we'll see where we go with that one. Oh, I might add a bit of green. Let's have a kind of a funny little shape here. And the lovely thing about this exercise, or this sort of doodling, is that there are no mistakes. You just do whatever you want, and it's just fun. And obviously you could cut these out and use them as elements in a journal or a illustrative storybook, something like that. That would be fun. Just adding a few little bits in that. Let's just add a bit of darker blue into that. So I'm just sort of combining the colours using quite a bit of water. So the paper I'm using is 300 grams watercolour paper. You have to use something that's quite substantial for this because we're using a lot of water, but you could always use wallpaper lining paper, which does work really well. So yeah, I'm just going to put in that one there and stick into this green. I think I'm just going to put a little green blob down here, and I'm going to leave those ones to dry. I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to be using sort of yellows and oranges. I've nearly run out of this paint. I do use it a lot. It's that sort of middle price, good quality. Yes, it's a good paint. All the materials that I use are listed in the description. Let's do kind of a square one. Again, it's a good way to practice your painting skills, and just trying out paints. So my last tutorial, I was trying out some very, very cheap paints. If you haven't checked that one out, you might like to do that. It was interesting. Yeah, the conclusion was that they would be quite good for backgrounds. But the metallics were actually really nice. Just going to add a little bit in there. I am going to be using a bit of metallics in this as well. So again, I think let's just do sort of a circle one. We're going to be combining materials here, or media. We're going to, obviously there's watercolours, and I'm going to add some marker pens and maybe some colouring pencils. So don't be afraid of mixing things up. I've always been a little bit rubbish with rules, and and I kind of encourage my students to be just a bit wary when someone says you have to do it this way. And I get them to challenge me as well if I say something like that. Which I think is a good thing as a teacher. You need to have that. Because I don't have all of the answers. But I do have quite a few answers because I'm quite old. And which several of them remind me of every now and again, which is quite sweet, really. Let's just pop a little one down here as well. I would quite often be working in a sketchbook, but I thought with this one I'm just going to do it on separate pieces of paper because I might actually cut some of them out and use them for something else. As you see, I'm just sort of adding a few little bits to these. There we go. And I'm going to leave that one, these ones to dry, and go back to the others. So while we're waiting for those ones to dry, I'm just going to go in with just an acrylic pen, and I'm going to, again, I'm just going to create a quirky little monster, this time starting with the outline. And we can start off with this sort of blob. I'm going to give him some wonky eyes, like this. And the lovely thing about this, as I said, is that you can just let your imagination go a little bit wild. And I love that. It actually looks like he's got two rubber gloves on his head, doesn't it? That's very strange, but that's fine. And let's just put in a little mouth. And we can put in some colours and details and things like that a bit later. But we can just have a bit of fun with this in the meantime. So let's give him some arms here. And some little legs. Put him out like this. That's quite funny, isn't it? And very silly. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for your lovely comments in the previous tutorials. If you haven't joined the Facebook group and you think that that's might be something that you would like, you'll be very, very welcome. It's such a friendly and supportive group. I can put little boots on this one. So the link is in the description if you'd like to join that. Let's have this one with 3 eyes. We can have her kind of looking out this way. And again, let's put in a nice sort of big mouth, I think. Be fun. I do really love making these. I do some serious art as well, but I do like doing doodles because they are just such good fun. And we can give her a bit of attitude, I think. This is also a really good exercise to help with just playing and just letting your imagination go, because yeah, there's no right or wrong. These are your imaginary little monsters, and so it doesn't matter if they've got one eye bigger than the other and it doesn't look realistic, because it's not supposed to, is it? That's not how it works. So here we've got two little characters here, and again I think I might just do one in the background. I think I'm going to put a hat on this one. Just put a little bubble hat. You can be kind of looking out that way. And we give him a little and he could be waving. And his another arm can come out this way. And let's put this is, oh, and it's just silly, isn't it? But it is fun. Now, because this is acrylic, the paint won't run. So what I'm going to do now, while I'm still waiting for those other ones to dry, to go in with my watercolours. I can make it quite wet, and we can start going over some of these, mixing up some of the colours and just like shading in bits like that. Let's have one arm here is yellow, and we can have one arm green, because why not? It's our little monster and we can do what we like. There we go. And one of the things that I do love to do is to create little stories with my students, and we'll give all of these adventures and things like that. It's just a good way to expand the imagination. Let's see, it doesn't matter if it goes over the edges, it just sort of adds to the just the freedom really of developing a little illustration like this. And you can also see that I'm working quickly. I'm not labouring this at all. I'm going to have this one as put a bit of yellow on him as well. And again, it's that I really want to encourage you to be brave. Let's just give this pop there. And he can have yellow arms as well. So they're quite fun, aren't they? Let's just put in a bit of a background. Now, if you watched the quirky houses that I did a few tutorials ago, perhaps you could put some of your little quirky monsters in a village. So we come back to this one. That's still a little bit wet up there. I'm using acrylic marker. These work really well. I'm using some white, so I can just create my little monster here. Let's start by putting in the eyes. You do have to keep shaking these ones, and the paint will kind of soak in, so you have to do a few lines, but yeah, that's good. That will work really well. Again, same as I did on the other one. Just going to draw in the details, just a few details here, like that. And you can start to just sort of develop your own style with these. And again, as always, we're just having fun. So this is the dark grey. You could use black. You could use biro as well. That would work. Let's just put those in like that. It just gives a different feel. I think with this one, let's put some hands out this way. It just looks a little bit alarmed, this one, doesn't it? It's just up here. Perhaps he's a little bit fed up. I love it when we can start to just put personalities, and let's do these kind of like sticky out bits. Not quite sure what they are. So I started to put a bit of detail there, and now what I'm going to do is to add some of the watercolour and just sort of build up the details. It's just a different way of creating these little monsters, and you'll find your own way. You'll find the way that you prefer, and you can just try out lots of different ideas. So I'm going to leave that one there. Let's do something with this green one. Oh, there we go. I'm going to go in with the grey first, and then I'll go in with white. And we can have some eyelashes. I think that could be fun. I'm kind of looking over this way. Little nose. And from these blobs you can then start to add other things. So for example, for this one, this is obviously her head. Let's give her a bit of a body just underneath. Like that. And I can bring her arms up this way and that way. And again, we can just like this. And you can just add all sorts of things. I'm going to leave that little bit to dry and come back. Now I'm going to work on all of these, but I just wanted to show you how I use metallics. And the key is to put the metallics on top of a base colour. Oh, that's moving about a little bit too much. Rather than just directly onto white paper, because you'll be a bit disappointed. Let's do that one. Just this one would just have a bit of a light shimmer. And again, I'm just going to do a bottom bit there, like that. And I will turn that one into another little monster. So let's do something with this one. Do the grey all the way around. I might go over it with black. Let's see where this goes. Mouth, some teeth. He looks a bit alarmed as well. Actually, now he looks like he's got glasses. Let's give him some glasses and some ears. And we can then Actually, no, I'm going to turn that into a top, because that's just crazy. Add a little bit down there. And he can have his arms coming out there. So I will be using these in my lessons coming up. But what I really wanted to show you is just how you can have so much fun just by creating a little blob. Let's move that one there and just put some spots on this one. Like that. Very crazy. Crazy, crazy, but lovely. Let's go into there. Like that. Come back to this one that's now dry. Let's going in with the black this time. Let's give him a little button nose, I think. And then let's his mouth like that, and we're going to have kind of a little fang type teeth. And let's have his feet coming out this way. We're going to have ears. What should I do with the arms this time? Let's have arms coming down like this, I think. He looks a little bit forlorn. I think it's so interesting that we can create these little creatures and then suddenly they come to life. Now, I'm just going to shade in the mouth. This one, I'm just using my black acrylic pen. Could use a marker pen. There we go, just bringing that. We can get the expression through eyes in particular, and I do think that is great fun when we start to do that. It looks like a peach, actually. There's kind of like a little peach going on here. And when we put these sort of expressions into eyes, then your little monster starts to have a character of their own. So what we're going to do with her, let's have her just, yeah, so straight away just having this sort of downward little trend. She's like, what is going on here? I'm not sure. And we can put a little hairstyle on her, which again, it's just adds to the fun, really. Let me know what you think, whether you're going to create little monsters and stories. Just let me know. That would be just so lovely. Right, what should we do with this one? Let's, running out. Give a bit of a shake. Let's have 3 eyes. He's looking down. Kind of almost like a beak with this one. And again, I can have, whoa. Like this. Again, I'm just trying a few things out, seeing what could work and what could be even more fun. This one's going to have glasses. He's looking this way. that. So again, are your monsters going to be friendly monsters? Or are they going to be demons? There we go. A little hat on that one, I think. And this one, I think, it's just going to be a little squat one. Oh, just the whole thing is just fun. You can work really quickly, you can take your time. I'm going to develop a few of these and I'll show you what I do at the end. So I thought I'd do a little bit more on this one. Just gonna, again, I'm just going to shade. Oh, running out of ink in these. So I'm just doing these really quickly so that you can have an idea. And some of these I might develop a little bit further, put a bit more detail in. But it just sort of gives you an idea, doesn't it, for what you could do. Definitely running out of that one. Right, let's go in with another colour. And I think what I'm going to do here is just putting in a little bit of colour into the irises. Just, oh, let's just do that one around there. Like that. And I think with this one too, I'm going to put little spotty circles. It's part of his skin. Again, you could try different mark making, but you could also use colouring pencils, which I'll show you in a moment. I'm going to use my Faber-Castell colouring pencils, which are my absolute favourites. Just going to choose some of the colours that I want to pick out. Some sort of oranges into yellows. And then I think I'm going to pick out a couple of purple and blue. Just put those there. We're going to have a look at this one, because you can use colouring pencils on top of dry watercolour. Works absolutely fine. So I'm just going to do just a little bit around the edges, just to give it a bit of depth. I think it's quite underrated when we kind of mix colouring pencils with watercolours, but I quite like it. You know, try it with whatever pencils you have. You know, I do a lot of my illustrations using colouring pencils, so these are my favourites. Again, I've put links in the description. And the lovely thing about Faber-Castell pencils is that you can just buy one at a time. So, because they are quite expensive, but they do last for ages. And they're very easy to use. They blend beautifully. So you can see what's happening there. I'm sort of blending these like this, and then I'm just going to add a bit more depth, but this time using blue. You could use black as well, but I think the blue just gives it it makes it a little bit warmer. Do you see what happens there? Just sort of building this one up just a little bit. We can also then just do the irises as well. I think that works quite well. So like that. And then you can also go in, you press quite hard. Let's see, it's that one. And it will cover the yellow, because obviously yellow is a very pale colour. That kind of thing. And again, I'm going to just use orange on top of this yellow, just to give it a bit of depth. Like that. Just wanted to show you that one. And I'll do this one as well. Move that there. Let's do this bit. Actually, this he now looks like a chicken. Oh dear. It's fun. Yeah, you've probably worked out that I don't take myself that seriously. So I'm all for celebrating the joyfulness of creating art. Although I do appreciate that it can be very stressful sometimes and frustrating when things don't quite go how you want them to go. But it's just to encourage you to practice. Keep practicing. That's the key. Let's just put a little bit of the blue on this one. But you get the idea. So I've got that one, which again I might take some of these a little bit further. This one, what we could do here, again using the colouring pencil, shade in some other bits in between some of the paint. Just combine your media and see what happens. Like that one. Like that. So we've got that one, and we've got these ones as well, which I might do a little bit more on as well. I really hope you enjoyed it. I did. I love doing things that are just a little bit silly because it's fun. Anyway, if you'd like to see some more, you could look at this one or this one, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.